Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Friday, September 27, 2013. If you are a Radio Newark listener and wish to watch the broadcast, please go to www.catex.com. Another building collapse in Mumbai this morning. India's financial capital has now seen several of them over the past several months. This particular collapse was owned by the city's municipal government. The people who lived there, and its 22 apartments, were city employees. Apparently, at least 4 people are known dead at this point. It's possible that up to another 90 people may be buried alive, and it's expected that the death toll will soar. Tower Insurance Group shares jumped about 8.5% yesterday. And the reason is that they announced that they've hired J.P. Chase to advise them on selling the company. According to multiple sources, J.P. Morgan has already approached a number of legacy and live markets about a sale of Tower. Other strategic options also include an equity raise, although I wouldn't quite bet on that. Tower's share price has dipped 60% since August 7th when it postponed its second quarter results due to problems assessing its loss reserves. Interesting news in London. In an interview with the Financial Times yesterday, John Nelson, the Lloyd's chairman, lashed out against the Aon-Berkshire deal. The Aon-Berkshire deal, of course, was announced in May, and that arrangement sees Aon placing 7.5%, or Berkshire placing 7.5% of all of Aon's business that it writes through a dedicated facility. Nelson said that the benefits, insofar as additional business coming into Lloyd's from this deal from Aon, are minute. This is despite Aon's assurances that Aon is placing more business into Lloyd's as a result of this deal. Nelson's comments seem to be at odds with comments made to the FT earlier in the day by Lloyd's Finance and Operations Director Luke Savage, who said that the Aon-Berkshire deal was actually an endorsement of underwriting discipline at Lloyd's. He said the fact that the likes of Warren Buffett is willing to put money to follow blindly what Lloyd's is doing is actually a backhanded compliment. Demonstrates that Berkshire Hathaway has a great deal of confidence in how disciplined this place is as a market. Interestingly enough, we made that same observation in our July CATEX Reports newsletter. XL has come in with their loss prediction for the German hailstorms in June. They say $60 million for the July hailstorms. The industry cost is expected to be some $2.7 billion. XL said the majority of the loss will be borne by its reinsurance arm. Yesterday, Iran and 6 major powers, including the U.S., have agreed to meet in Geneva next month for more talks on resolving the standoff with the West on nuclear program issues. Both sides emerged upbeat from a meeting on nuclear program, but both sides sounded a cautionary note, with the Americans saying there's still more work to do. John Kerry said the U.S. would not lift its sanctions on Iran until it showed that it was not pursuing a nuclear weapons capability. Catherine Ashton, the EU's foreign policy chief, said that the UN meeting with Iranian officials on Thursday had been a very positive first step in resolving the dispute. It would be a miracle if this is resolved. Good for them. Scientists are now saying with extreme confidence that human activity is the dominant cause of the global warming observed since the 1950s. This is a result of a report issued by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Previous warnings said that it was highly likely that humans had caused global warming. This now says extremely likely. And the group raised the projections of the rise in sea levels to 10 to 32 inches by the end of the century. The previous report predicted a rise of 7 to 23 inches. This could be and will be a huge problem if the ocean levels rise that much. Yesterday afternoon, the Kenyans managed to convince Interpol to put out a red alert throughout 165 countries in the whole world, looking for the so-called White Widow, a 29-year-old British national named Samantha Luthwaite, whose husband was a suicide bomber in the July 7th, 2005 London bombings. Ms. Luthwaite apparently was on the scene at the Westgate Mall, and she apparently has escaped. The Kenyans cannot find her. Hopefully Interpol will. She apparently is the leader of the cell that made the attack. Last night at Yankee Stadium, Mariano Rivera pitched his last game in pinstripes at Yankee Stadium. He's expected to play a few more games in Houston this weekend. It was a very emotional scene. He was crying on the pitcher's mound. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Have a pleasant weekend, and thank you for watching.